righty, looks like I think we're live. I'm looking on this side and we're still doing the countdown. Remember, guys, there is a 20-second delay. So far, I see 10 people in the pre-chat. This is awesome, guys. Shout out where you guys are from. I see Come Out in PLA is out there. What is up, brother? He says one day Rumble will give me push notifications. Yep, I know, but Rumble is where we are from this point on in the podcast because we can hold guns. This is clear, nothing in the mag. This is a Mean Arms Endo mag and a P mag for 9mm. This is going to be our SBR project. I just installed this Sealy Cobra X Pro. I think this is like brand new. I didn't talk to Sealy. I have no affiliation with them. This is because my man Got Gamage and I traded some optics because he is now the proud owner of the RFX 44 closed emitter. So if you guys want to check that out, the link's in the description of all of that video. Great optics. So he's going to be reviewing it because of me. So he traded me this. And thank God it came with a 1913 pick rail because this Sealy Cobra X Pro, it's a 2 MOA dot, pretty beefy optic, but it's cut for a Vortex. Who is running Vortex optics? Come on. It's Holosun or Gideon. Gideon, use code JOJUICE for 10% off. All right, so we got that going. It looks like Come Out PLA considered it smashed. Thanks, brother. I really appreciate it. Come Out PLA. That means a lot, my man. All right, so let's start the show off like we're supposed to. Alrighty, what is crack-a-lackin', everybody? Welcome back to the Shooting in the Woods podcast. This is episode 226. Now we're starting to get into the episodes where we're actually paying homage to some of the greatest guns ever made. Episode 226, like the SIG 226, the 226 Mark 25, greatest single action, double action pistol I've ever shot in my life. Check them out. But this is episode 226, and I want to thank everybody for watching. We got banned on Cash App. I don't know how that happened, but Cash App has now put the axe to us, and now I am banned on Cash App. I don't know how. Maybe because they're just a bunch of freedom-hating commies. But I guess there is some type of super chat feature. Yes, there is. There is a donate feature on Rumble. So if you want to consider donating to Rumble, I appreciate it. I see Safety Haba Firearms out in the chat. What is up? Walter Killer, the man, the myth, the legend. Me and Walter are going to be getting into some fun shenanigans this weekend up at the clandestine shooting facility. I also see my brother, DLD After Dark, also co-host of Two Guys, One Gun podcast every Sunday. Check it out. This Sunday, we're going to be doing another episode. We had great response. And surprisingly, that show is monetized on YouTube at the moment. So I'm not going to question anything. Orgiscu one, that looks like Damian Christ out there. What is up? Hello. All right. So thank you guys so much. But we got to pay the bills. So let's thank our awesome sponsors. Guys, this podcast is sponsored by the amazing people over at Aegis Gun Care. Aegis Gun Care, I've been saying it for years, is the leader in firearms cleaning, lubrication, and solutions. It's a two-part system. You guys have been hearing it forever. I love Aegis Gun Care. This is the cleaner. It gets all your carbon off your firearms. It doesn't have a smell, and it's non-toxic. Then you follow it up with their special lubricant. We call it Joe Juice here on the Shooting in the Woods podcast. This stuff is amazing. It prevents rust. It lubricates your firearms. It does a ton of amazing qualities, you guys. I cannot stress enough how much I love Aegis Gun Care. They also have cleaning kits available. This is their field kit. You get everything from 22 up till 45. You can get patches. You can get hats, merchandise.
and even some pretty cool cleaning mats. If you do me a favor and go over to Aegis Gun Care and use code JOJUICE, you will save 10% off your entire order. And we thank Aegis Gun Care so much for sponsoring today's podcast.
Aegis Gun Care is the stuff you need. This is the lubricant with that needle applicator. Check it out. Use code JOJUICE. I know on good authority I am their favorite YouTuber. I can say that with good authority. I know he's laughing in the back chat because we got the man, the myth, the legend on tonight. We're going to introduce him in a second, but also let's thank our other sponsor of the Shooting Those podcast.
Guys, this podcast is sponsored by Liberty Bell Firearms. Liberty Bell Firearms is the Cerakote of choice here on the channel. They did the Kit Kat build, paint on the frame. This is the SCT frame. Everything we built over from Brownell's Parts. I said, man, I want this to look like a Kit Kat wrapper. He did it. This is awesome. The video is not doing it justice. He not only did the logo, but he did the pins, controls, all different colors, extremely custom. And he also offers laser stippling on things like AR-15 grips, laser engraving as well for metal parts, say your slide, frame, 1911 grip panels. Guys, if you want to get some really cool designs done or get some stuff Cerakoted, please check out Liberty Bell Firearms. They're offering the listeners of this podcast 20% off by using code JOJUICE. We thank Liberty Bell Firearms for sponsoring today's podcast.
Guys, Liberty Bell Firearms. Why are y'all sleeping on it? Look at that Kit Kat build. This is the SCT 19 frame on a Brownell's windowed slide. Right now, I have the, I don't even know, just some, this was the threaded barrel given me, but it's rose gold, kind of goes with it. I have shot this suppressed on someone else's suppressor because Silencer Co. does not want to add the 5x28 piston in their suppressors. Kind of pisses me off. I got a video coming out either tomorrow or Friday, whenever it gets either edited and then monetized. So, but yeah, Liberty Bell Firearms, use code JOJUICE for 20% off your entire order. I'm actually sending the 10 mil high point out. And because my man Ron Wayne out there, I know he doesn't listen live and he's going to be part of that replay mafia. Ron inspired me. And then Walter Keller as well said, if I don't do this, it's not worth it. So we are going to be Cerakoting the 10 millimeter high point 1095 carbine in Rhodesian baby puke camo. Okay. We're going to be probably the first to put Rhodesian baby puke on a 10 mil carbine. So all you people out there, they're like, oh my god, that's so bad. No, it's not Rhodesian brush. Chill the F out. It's an effing camo. All right, DLD says that his wow, 2 guys 1 cup is monetized on his too. Holy hell. Yes, get you some Joe Juice, use 10% off. I still wish I caught the owner's facial expression when I told him I knew dark. All right, hell yeah. All right, cool. Yes, Walter says MG42 in the bullet trap. Check that out on SITW Firearms. I was the one that filmed that video. It's over like 15,000 views right now. An MG42 is a fully automatic belt-fed 8mm. It is badass. I've never shot one, and I'll get the chance to shoot one this weekend since Walter has SOT superpowers. And check out stemparts.com as well. Shameless plug. But let's bring on one of my closest friends in the industry, one of the only guys that signed on and said, you know, we are going to sponsor this guy. He's been there for me for very early on in my channel. Really, every time I get to talk to him, always a good time. He has been killing it right now with new products he's developing, and he's also got into one of the biggest outdoor stores in the country, which I'm really excited to find out how that whole process went and how's it going. So let's introduce Rod Gates of Aegis Gun Care.
Hey everybody, what's up?
What's up, man? I haven't had you on in a good minute, and I was like, you know what? Let's schedule this. I know we tried getting on a couple weeks back, and it was your mom's birthday, so you were the good son, and took her out to a very nice dinner.
Mom had to be fed.
Yeah.
I've never been on Rumble before. I'm used to YouTube, so I've got to do this.
Yes, so we're gonna do a strap check.
And I might just sit here all day like this on the whole show. So
I know since I've been on the show, since I've been on the podcast.
Speaking of that, my old ass finally came into the modern age and got a red dot on a pistol. And I
How
don't
many
know why I didn't do this years ago because I'm stupid, I guess. But I love this thing.
Well, you don't use Apple products, so
What's that?
you don't use Apple products. You refuse to use anything Apple.
Well, that's because I'm. What's the word? What I'm trying to think. Too smart to use Apple products. Is that what I'm using for? I don't know. Too many people I can piss off right away.
I mean, it's all good. It's all good. We still love you. So what are you carrying then? Let's see if I can figure out.
This one is my Canik TP9 Elite SC, and I just put the Hollow Sun 407K on it.
Nice. I have that exact optic on my 365.
And I took it out shooting the first day when I put it on a couple of weeks ago, and God, I wanted to stay at the range. I shot 300 or 400 rounds with it the first day playing with it, and I'm like, okay, I like this.
Yep. Now, how like you're a gun guy, Rod. How often do you actually get to the range? Like, do you like make it a point? Like, hey, I go like twice a week, twice a month. I go whenever I can. Like
Twice a year? I don't know. It's bad.
oh wow, really? Well,
I
I'm
haven't
like,
been.
because you have Aegis gun care. So like, I'm thinking he's got to get to the range at least.
I've made it a commitment that this year I'm going to the range a lot more because I pay a membership to be a member of a private range, and then I just don't. Then I don't even go. So
It was funny. I've worked in gun shops for years, and both shops I worked at had a range. I think I maybe went with my own stuff 4 times. Even when I moved down here, I've gone like without not just like filming, like just gone to the range and shot. I think I only did it twice here. Now I just got signed up at Guncraft in Ruskin, Florida, and I'm excited. I've been trying to go every weekend when I'm not traveling or doing all this fancy dancy stuff. So yeah,
well, I get and now's a bad time for me to try to go to the range. It's just starting our busy season, our show season, and everything. Like we
yeah.
have, I think just this month of May we have 8 events this month, from
Wow.
Wyoming to Texas to here. So the chances of me shooting much in May is probably not non-existent.
Well, and that's the thing. Your wife has veto powers too, so she's gonna be like, nope, not happening. We got this
Oh
going
yes, we all know that she's the vice president with veto powers. So
I still crack up every time I hear that entire phrase. But hey, listen, Mrs. Aegis, she is a sweetheart. So hey, she's earned that title.
Like I've said many times, there would be no Aegis Gun Care without her. Because if it was up to me and left to me, we had been bankrupt in the first few days because I chase shiny shit.
Yep.
And she's there to slap me down and go, no, quit, stop.
Yep.
Every shiny thing or neat thing that comes down the road, I'll be trying to chase after it and buy it and get involved. And
yep, that's what happened. Since working at Safety Harbor Firearms, Walter is very pro me doing anything, which is awesome. And I was talking today, like, I got an AR, I got this now, I got the suppressor. I think it's time to buy an AK-47. He's like, yep, you need it. Just buy one. Just do it. Don't
see. I don't know. Since you came out of the dark ages and out of communism and moved to the free America, how are you not buying guns hand over fist and in debt already tremendously? I would have been.
Well, here's the thing. One, taxman is a fickle bitch, and I always, I got to pay the taxman every month, and I got some bills, and I had my car blew up on me essentially over Christmas, so I have to be financially responsible, and trust me, I want to be on Palmetto State and Brownells every other day buying shit, and it's not fair when Palmetto is putting out lower receivers for $30 stripped.
Yeah. It's tough. I try not to buy many guns because we're trying to put all of our money back in the business, so it's tough. But
yeah, I have the suppressor that I was like, okay, it's time. Like I want a suppressor, so I went with the 9mm. Stamp came back in 6 days, so I just got to find the attachment, and then we'll probably be shooting this.
The Hollow Sun was my recent treat for myself. I couldn't really get a gun, so I got the Hollow Sun, and but now that's going to be horrible because now I want one on every gun.
Yeah,
and I've got
I won't buy a gun if it's not optics ready.
I think I got 8 guns. I think I have 18 or 20 pistols. and only one other one of them is optic ready. My Smith and Wesson 10 mm. So I'm gonna have to get a shitload of pistols cut for optics.
I always forget that Smith and Wesson made a 10 mil M&P, and I've had a chance to shoot it. The trigger is phenomenal. I'm a 10 mil guy. Like I love
So
it.
am I.
It's the best millimeter. So I every time I always hear the M&P 10, I'm like, oh man, I should have bought that. I should buy one, but it's like
I got one a year and a half ago or so, and I got it like 2 weeks after my shoulder surgery, and I took it out to shoot it with like 2 weeks from shoulder surgery, and it hurt a lot. So I haven't shot it much since. I need to get back out and do it because.
Now, what did you do with your shoulder surgery? Was it a rotator cuff or was it something different?
No, I had the ligament tore, and then they reattached it, and then once they got in there, they found that my upper end of my bicep was totally shredded to the top, so they had to redo all that and clean it up. And well, with this one, I'm sorry, and now this one, my right one is now going to hell and hurts like hell. So
yeah, my mother, who's been a nurse my entire life, she always told me, because I can feel my rotator cuffs are like kind of shot from painting for years carrying ladders, and she's like, don't ever get that surgery, it doesn't work. And I've seen people have to go through shoulder surgery, and it's just,
well, mine wasn't bad because I thought for sure it was rotator cuff because I screwed that shoulder up many years ago playing softball. I thought that's what it was, and then when he went and did the MRI or whatever and went in there, the doctor was like, no, your rotator cuff surprisingly is in incredibly great shape because it's everything else that is torn to shit.
Yeah. So let's check out the chat real quick. I see Christy Turtel out in the chat. What is up, my dear? Hope you're doing well. She's out there in Texarkana right now, fighting a good fight. And we got DLDs out there saying, yeah, agree, Rod. I would have a machine gun credit card. Yeah, exactly. It's a tough one, guys. Not opening up a credit card to strictly just buy guns. It's pretty daunting. I see McClune the Goon is out in the chat. Hello, first time seeing. I think this is Mike McClune. So thank you for swinging by. Let's see here. 6 days. I'm still waiting. I hate you, Joe. I'm sorry. Hey, 6 days. I can't help the fact that ATF wanted to put my paperwork through. Alrighty, let's see.
6 days nowadays. 6 days is a long time.
Well, I heard the national average was 2 weeks.
Well, like I told you before we went on, there's gun stores. Who was it? That was one of our dealers that deals our thing. They put up something. They've had them back in 18 hours. And I was like, holy cow.
I was so excited when I woke up that morning, and I was like, I rolled out of bed, my email went off, and the form came through. I'm like, I had a pep in my step as I was getting to my car. I was cheerier than usual because, you know, I live in the South now and everyone's just, you know, naturally happy because it's sunny and beautiful down here. But yeah, I was at the coffee shop, like I was whistling, and Walter's looking at me like, what's up with you? And I'm like, a stamp came back this morning. He's like, oh, okay, so now I get it, no problem.
Hey, real quick, I just noticed something. Everybody, look at Joe's logo and look what mine. Which one's the best?
Bias here. This is my favorite rendition because I have another shirt that I found when I went to go visit my mother recently. I had an Aegis shirt with, it was just, you know, the Trojan soldier, no logo around it. That one, I was like, oh, I forgot I had that one. But then I'm like, hey, this is my personal favorite, and I know you have a newer version.
This red, white, and blue one. I got playing with AI the other day, a couple weeks ago, and I threw my logo into AI, and then just hit American flag, and that's what it did on its. AI did all that.
Guys, if you go to Aegis Gun Care right now, use code JoJo, you can get that shirt and save 10% off.
Holy shit! I was like, oh, that is. I've been playing. I've got one also that's not up for sale, but I did a logo. It's camouflage. Everywhere on yours where it's blue, it's camo.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
It looks like, well, you might have to do a Rhodesian baby puke because
I might have to. If I can get that somehow through an AI, it'll do it.
I wonder if AI will allow that.
I don't know.
Because because everyone will be like, Rhodesian, no, we can't do that, and it'll just be like, nope.
Okay, but the one you're wearing is still our official one. That's the official logo.
Yeah, this is my favorite T-shirt, and it's so comfy. You make T-shirts for the big boys, which I really appreciate because I'm a cheeky fellow myself, and this is one of the comfiest T-shirts I own. But so, what's been going on with you guys at Aegis?
Oh, hang on. Turn off. Oh, Christ. Okay, I just totally lost what I was doing. All right. I've got it. We can talk. I got to send him a text real quick. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. So you guys have been doing some cool stuff recently. You're starting to get into the show season again, and just recently, not recently, but a couple months back, you came out with a new product, and it was actual grease instead of like it's adding to the lineup of the cleaner, the lubricant, and now you're adding. Is it like lithium grease, or let's kind of get into that?
Yeah, it's actually funny you say that. I have one. It's just I'm sorry, I've had a chest and head cold for like a week now. Since I got back from Wyoming, I got sick. It's a heavy duty lithium grease with tungsten disulfide, the IFWS2 in it.
Okay.
And I'm not a grease guy. I don't use grease. The only thing I've ever used grease for is the choke tubes of shotguns. That was it for the threads.
Yep.
But apparently, our chemist did a hell of a job because a lot of pretty big people that I think are pretty big in the gun industry that have tried our grease that just love it and say it's incredible. So
yeah, Dark is saying I've been using that grease on so much stuff. It is incredible, better than any other grease I have by far. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Spartan Precision Rifles.
I've never heard of them.
Mark used to be in California. He's a big deal with bolt action rifles and hunting rifles. He's like a legend in that stuff. He's a couple years ago, he moved out to Idaho. His shop's like 20 minutes from me. Got to know Mark. He got a hold of our grease and he loves it. He's got it and got the little miniature grease syringes that he sends out with his full build rifles now.
Oh, that's awesome. And yeah, because now you have that. And then I know you also have been dealing with Avidity Arms.
Yes.
They send out the bottles of lubricant with the PD10.
Yes. Rob's probably got a couple thousand of them so far sent to him and stuff. So that's been pretty cool.
That's cool.
Rob's been very gracious about putting us in with his product and putting stuff out there, which has been kind of cool.
And I saw, when I heard that happen, I was like, you know what, that is awesome. I have never shot the PD10. I think it is interesting. I know it took a while for it to be developed, and it's meant for concealed carry. I'd like to pick one up just because I just want to not pick one. I'd like to try it. Like if I could shoot like a mag or two out of it, just to be like, all right, what is it about? Like I understand it's designed for concealed carry and to be in all 50 states because I think it says a 10-round single stack 1911 type mag. Okay, cool. Like I'd like to check it out. And plus,
I want to shoot one too. I wouldn't mind having one.
Yeah, well, hey, people just be like, hey, send one over there, Haas.
But yeah, I don't do that. I don't ask people for guns, and I don't. But anyway, I don't know. The whole gun world is kind of interesting. I heard people crapping on that gun and said, well, it's too late. It's only a 10-round magazine. I'm like, yeah, but them same guys will carry a Glock 43. So
yeah, that is a single stack, like
6-round,
6+1, and
yeah. So I'm like, really, give me a break.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People in the gun world, every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there has an opinion. They're like assholes, and everyone has it. And since I could say that without worrying about anything on YouTube, I don't care. That's why we're here on Rumble. So guys, make sure you're following us on Rumble. We really would appreciate it. Again, I am keeping up with the chat. I know there's like a 20-second delay, so I'm making sure I'm not missing anybody. Dark saying, I've been telling everybody to grease their buffer tubes. The people that have actually done it have hit me back and said, wow, what a game changer.
Hell yeah, there you go. Damien Christ saying Aegis is great stuff. I run it. There you go, Damien. There you go, brother. So getting used to Rumble chat. Yeah, Rumble chat's weird. I'm making sure that I'm going back and forth and checking out the product. But yeah,
Yeah.
so you got the grease. Now, what prompted you to make it? Because I know you were the cleaner, lubricant, 2-part system.
The grease was, excuse me, was basically we'd go to gun shows, industry events, range events, and stuff, and every time we were in an event, somebody would come up and ask us if we made a grease. And they were like, and it was flattery because they were like, man, can you if you would just come up with a grease as good as your lube, I'd buy it. And we heard this enough and heard it enough and heard it enough. And a lot of times people say stuff, but then once you really do it, they don't buy anything.
Yeah, naturally.
So, but I got a hold of our chemist and I told him, I said, hey, can we do a grease that does this, 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 and this? And then he started asking me questions like, well, what? And I said, no, that's your job. Here's the characteristics. Other than that, I'm stupid. I don't know anything else. I just wanted to be able to do this, this, and this. And so he came up with 2 separate formulas that he got it narrowed down to after about 10 months. And I took them, gave them out to a lot of people around here. Trent Miller, who is a competitive shooter here, USPSA master shooter, I gave him both. And Trent took them out and just shot the shit out of him, gave him his opinion. And about everybody had the same opinion of I gave him an A and B sample. Almost everybody picked the same sample. So that's the one we went with. And it's been pretty successful. I mean, for those, because not a lot of people use grease, but the people that do use it seem to just love our grease. So it's amazing. So that's been cool.
Hell yeah.
But that's just kind of how it came along. It's just enough people were asking about it, and I thought, what the hell? And then when I got a hold of my chemist and found out how cheap we could do it, how not cheap but inexpensive.
Yep.
He was like, man, we can actually put a grease, we can R&D a grease and get it through for pretty cheap and test. And I went, okay, so let's do it. We did.
That's awesome. Oh, I'm gonna have to definitely pick some up because I'm gonna try and test it out on the Matador Arms Mat 9, because since this is a buffered system, I think it would be good where I could just kind of slide it right on the bolt, and as that contact point's there, it will actually help the cycle. I've yet to shoot this, but I think it will. We throw some grease on there, it's going to be fantastic.
I still haven't shot any gun with our grease on it yet, so.
That's why I love you, man, because you are absolutely honest. You're like, I haven't tried it yet. But now you're selling 3-packs now, where it's the cleaner, lube, and the grease all in one.
We actually have. I got one of those to show you. We actually have 2 things like that. We have what we call our trifecta.
Yep.
Which is the full size of our grease, our lube, and our solvent all in one kit. You can buy it. It's online only on that. But then I came out with a guy in Colorado who's kind of like being a distributor for us. Told me, dude, if you would put all your little 3 samples together in one kit, he goes, I'll sell the hell out of those. Well, we did it, got it all put together a few months ago, and they've been selling like crazy. And we just call it the Aegis sample trifecta.
Yeah, the Aegis Gun Care trifecta right now is on sale on the website for $28.99. So when you use code JoJuice, you save 10%.
Yeah. And then this one, I think, sells like $15.99 online. It's got little bottle of our lube, little bottle of our cleaner, and this little syringe of grease all in one kit.
Nice. I like the packaging. Oh, man, look at that.
So, but yeah, so we did that, and that one's been fairly popular with the gun stores around here. And I mean, not super popular online, but at the gun stores, our dealers have been buying a lot of it. They really like it. So,
well, yeah, as long as they merchandise their store properly, it's if I was running a store, I'd put that right at the counter. So when you're buying a gun, doing all the checkout, all right, you need anything else? You need any lubricant? You need any cleaner? Oh, you need gun cleaning supplies? Right there, check it out. Boom. That's hand over fist. People will buy that because it's everything in one package.
Yeah, they are kind of cool.
Now, how many dealers? I've been if you guys haven't checked out Aegis Gun Care on YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. Instagram is where I've even seen the most of it. Is you guys have been picking up a lot more dealers in the Idaho and kind
We
of.
have, I think we have 20 or 21 dealers is all we have. I mean, I say all because a lot of people, but for us, pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
And 10 or 11 of them, 12 of them, I'd have to look. Somewhere to 10 to 12 of them are in Idaho, and the rest are outside of Idaho.
Yeah, I think you're one of the stores that friend of the channel, Martin Firearms Chronicles. I think his store is a dealer as well.
No, they are not.
They're not. Oh, then
No,
I was
Martin and I
wrong.
are friends, but that's a cool gun store, and I wish they would. It's Overland Armament in Boise, and it's a neat store, and I've been down there a few times, but yeah, it is what
Oh,
it is.
I thought they were a dealer, so now I'm gonna eat my own words. My bad. Sorry. Shout out to
No,
Martin.
but
Though. Check him out.
if anybody's listening from the Boise area and you go to Overland Armament, talk to the boys down there and tell them we'd sure like to do business with them.
Oh hell yeah!
But,
Now
and then
how many
what's that?
guns what's Idaho's like gun store scene? Just out of curiosity, like is there like a gun store on every corner or like?
Not exactly, but you got to understand something. There's a lot of gun stores, but Idaho and Wyoming are typically have the highest gun ownership per capita of any states in the U.S.
Oh, I didn't know that. I always thought Arizona was the highest.
No, per capita. If it's per capita, it's always usually bounces back. Before somebody can go look it up, fact check me right now. But it usually is for years has bounced back and forth between Idaho and Wyoming.
That's interesting.
You got to understand, Wyoming's only got like 500,000 people in the whole state, and each person in the state owns about 200 guns each person. So
they come out the womb with a Winchester 94.
that's why I get a kick out of when people talk about, well, Texas is this or that state or this state's the big gun state, and I spend enough time in Wyoming. I'm like, yeah, none of them, they all pale in comparison to Wyoming.
That's too funny.
It's amazing. It's a true gun culture there, and just how it is.
Because when you say you have 12 dealers in the Boise, Idaho, or just in Idaho in general, that's like, okay, like I'm coming from the state of Florida where like, okay, huge state, there's gun stores everywhere. And I'm like, you're in the, like, Idaho's in the middle of the country, like absolutely middle of the country. And I can picture a bunch of like country, cowboys out there. They love their guns. And I'm like, they got to have a lot of gun stores in that area.
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, there's quite a few gun stores, but we'll just look at, and I'm not in nearly a fraction of all of them here in the Boise, what they call the Treasure Valley. And I think there's here in the Boise Valley, there's what, 900,000 people, pushing 1 million people in the valley here.
Oh, wow.
And I'm only in like 10 stores. So
that's still you close to 21 stores in total at the moment. That's really awesome considering that you guys started up, I want to say like six or 7 years ago. It was definitely before COVID.
No, with Aegis started 3 years ago.
3 years. Damn, it feels like you guys. Yeah.
I was still with Brand X back then. The name that we shall never ever say again.
Yeah, of course. I'll tell you right now, time flies, and I'm like, I feel like you guys started like before COVID, and like,
no, it was post COVID after we moved back to Idaho.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, since when we left Texas, then we came back up here.
Okay. So I'm getting my facts wrong, and the fact, and I gotta fix that because considering sponsor the podcast, I should know.
I mean, we have a lot of great dealers, especially here in the valley. We have I went out today meeting with dealers. I try to go every 2 weeks, at least do face-to-face visit with the local ones.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good too. Is that you have like a very good relationship with your dealers, because working in gun stores, there were certain reps that like would come around once a Midsummer's Eve, and like he was our guy that we needed to talk to for like a ton of stuff. And as a gunsmith, like if it was like a warranty issue,
yeah,
they won't pick up the phone. Oh yeah, we'll send it to you, no problem. Never sends it. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I tried. If you're a local store, I tried every 2 or 3 weeks at least step foot in the store and say hi and see if they need anything. And
Mm-hmm.
hell, today I went into a store called Boise Black Rifle, and
That's awesome. That's an
well,
awesome name.
he owns 3 stores. He owns Sacramento Black Rifle, Boise Black Rifle, and Sparks Black Rifle in Nevada. And we were talking about getting shirts for a guy the guy was telling you tested our stuff, Trent Miller, getting shirts and supporting him because I sponsor him and we're got free slots for him at a Wyoming Governor's match this year.
Yep.
For our sponsorship. But anyway, and just right there in within 2 seconds of Rob and I talking, Rob's he goes, let's make a shooting team. And he's on the text machine, texting 4 or 5 other friends that own businesses, slide cutting guy, a sim shot that does simulator, another holster company. And they all respond, yeah. So now we today made a shooting team.
That's awesome. Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
It's like, oh, okay.
That is awesome.
But,
and the fact that you're getting into all different areas too, where all different parts of the gun world, they're seeing the Aegis logo. Like that's awesome.
Well, there are cool things. And when I said that, I mean, I always like to make sure people understand our bread and butter is our local mom and pop stores. That's who we started. That's who we love doing business with. But a few months ago, we got lucky enough to have a little sporting goods store named Shields allow us to be on their shelves. And
yeah, that's what I want to know, because I was like, when I found that out, I forget. I think you were on Dark Show or some. I forget what show you were on, and that's when you were like, yeah, we just got into Shields, and I'm like, what? That, like, granted, Shields isn't around where I am. It's more of like a Midwestern, centralized, but it's
they're
like
an experience. Yeah. I've been going to Shields for almost 20 years. First time I went was in Billings, Montana, and Shields Sporting Goods. If you've never been to one, and this isn't nothing against you, even if you don't want to buy anything and you don't buy a damn thing there, you just need to go for the experience.
Oh, it's like the Buc-ee's of sporting goods stores.
It's really cool. They have everything under the sun. They have Ferris wheels inside their buildings. They have these huge aquariums. They have golf simulator. They have everything you could think of. Bowling alley, the lane or two bowling alley. It's wild.
And that's the thing, they got, and I follow a lot of like the fishing YouTubers that go to Shields, and they like try and go to the fishing lure crane machine that's clearly rigged, and like you're not going to get anything out of there. It's like it's a rigged game, and I just like, man, I would love to check out a Shields. Like, it's a stop.
But to keep things grounded for us, I let people don't run to your Shields, your local Shields if you're buying one to get our stuff. We're only in the Meridian, Idaho Shields right now.
Oh, okay. So that's what I was going to say. So now, are you in the Shields, kind of like, the entire country?
There are 33 Shields in the nation, and we're in one of them. So
that's a big thing. Like Shields.
Well, it was kind of cool. Was it 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago? They did their grand opening, which was a madhouse. We waited several hours before we went because it was just a complete lunacy. All the people there. But they opened on a Saturday, so they had Saturday, Sunday, and half of Monday, and they had sold out our products and already reordered on Monday.
Oh, wow.
So I was pretty jacked. I was like, whoa. I told Shelly, told the wife I'm sitting here, and a thing came through, an email came through, and I'm like, shit, honey, we just got another order from Shields. 2.5 days. I'm like, that is cool.
That's awesome. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Now, how did that come about? Did you just meet somebody that kind of had a contact with the company, and you were like,
no, I tried to find friends that had a contact, and that was unsuccessful. So one day it was like 5:36 at night. I was sitting on the Instagram thing doing stuff and trying to figure out some content that wasn't shit like most of my content. And I came across local Shields had an Instagram page. So I Instagram messaged them, said, hey, here's who we are. This is where we're going to be one of your neighbors when you open up. We would love to be in your store. Thank you. 15 minutes later, I get a response that says, yes, we'd like to talk to you. Email this email address with all your company information. So I did that the next day, and Day and a half later, the assistant store lead from the new store, it hadn't even opened yet, reached out to me and said, "Hey, looked at your product, looked at your reviews, everything on your website. You're a local company, small business." He goes, "We'd love to have you on our shelves. Here's what we need to do." And so he
That's
jumped through the hoops. And they were
that's
so
awesome.
cool to deal with for a big. I tried to deal with my own company, tried to deal with a major box retailer, and I won't tell you who the assholes are, but they were so tough as a little bit small business to deal with. They just were trying to beat us up on everything, and they were horrible to deal with. And Shields was not that way. They were so cool to deal with.
That's
And
awesome. I've always wanted to go in there because I've seen like the tours of those stores, especially like you walk in, there's the giant aquarium that you walk under, and then obviously it's the Ferris wheel. But I've always wanted to check out their gun section because I've seen like that is one of the best for a big box store. That's one of the best gun sections I've ever seen, and like they have a wide variety of everything. They don't just have
it's not
bolt
even
action.
really for Shields. It's not even really the gun section. They got a big gun section, but just everything else in that store that's amazing.
Yeah, the fishing, the
I
camping,
mean,
hunt, like everything.
they even have a home furnishing section. You can buy couches and chairs and lamps and pillows and whatever you
So
want.
it's okay. So be honest with me. Have you picked up some, linens and throw pillows and
No, we have
sheets?
not yet. I've only been in there a couple times now, and I actually haven't bought anything in there yet.
Yep.
But no, it's cool. It is, but as cool as it is, they're a very small percentage of our sales right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Extremely small.
Yeah. But and now would you say? And you said your local mom and pops are your biggest contenders out there.
Oh yeah, the people that we've actually become friends with and we partnership with on other things, and those are the people that keep us afloat and are moving us forward.
Now, with you, because you said you had, from what I know, you told me you did have an FFL at one point, right?
Yeah, when I was in Texas, I had an FFL for several years.
Do you see that? Because I've worked in a couple different shops, and down here it was a lot more than it was back home. But do you see down the road mom and pops just becoming like a transfer? Like not a lot will have some mom and pops probably won't even have that much inventory in store. They're meant for
No,
transfers.
it's the same thing in the gun business as any industry in the U.S. Small business runs this country.
Yeah, that's what I've heard that.
Absolutely.
I've heard the man, there's only FFLs are only going to be for transfers in probably 10 years. I'm like, no,
Well,
nope,
it's
I
even
don't believe that.
people were here like, oh, Shields is going to hurt the small gun businesses. Shields
No,
is so much more than a gun store.
yeah,
I don't think it's going to affect the small gun business, mom and pop gun businesses here. Those people already have their loyal customers going to buy from them regardless.
yeah, and that's the thing too. Like when I know my old owner from Cape Gunworks, they thought that when the Bass Pro opened, it was going to be hard, but the Bass Pro one was about from where they were. I think it was like had to be at least an hour away, but
Didn't even
also
hurt them, I'm sure. Didn't affect them at all.
didn't affect them. And that's the thing that if you go to big box stores, the prices aren't really the.
Well,
It depends on what you're buying, but at the same time, it's people are going to go to your mom and pop over anything
I think
else.
here in the Boise area, the only stores that I think, the people that I think, and this is my dumbass, uneducated opinion, is that the only people it's going to Shields, something like Shields is going to hurt is the Cabela's, the Sportsman's Warehouse, the other smaller box stores.
Yep.
I think that's the ones that probably will feel the pinch from them.
Yep.
None of these small, the people we deal with, they're not going to feel any pinch from them.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
You know
because
that.
I do transfer a lot online just because like if I'm looking for kind of like hard to find stuff or like a specific receiver that's only made from like PSA or Brownells, but I like a couple weeks ago, like I still have guys. If you're in the Sarasota area, please check out Bullet Hole or the Bullet Hole. I have 3 guns on consignment right now that I had to make room in the store in the safe for all these guns I'm starting to build and got to make room. So check
Get a
them
new
out.
safe. Get another safe.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Got a
how
one.
that works.
I got a 1-bedroom apartment, man. All right, and I can't. No,
Get rid of your refrigerator and put a safe where it's at.
just go. Well, that's the thing. I probably could.
You probably
get
eat out most of the time anyway, don't you?
No, I don't actually.
Oh.
I am a ramen noodle and night diet, and it's a case of water. There's really nothing in my fridge but a case of water, some butter, and like it's scarce. Like you open
Well,
my
have you
fridge
seen
and
that?
you're like,
There was a company that turned old refrigerators and Coke and Pepsi machines into safes.
I've seen those. Those are cool.
They're
as hell.
so cool. I
Have
want
you
to do it
seen?
someday.
I'll send if you haven't seen them. I'll send you the Instagram account. It's like 1776 ammo box or whatever. They take like 50 cal ammo cans, like the metal cans, and turn them into like boom boxes where it's like a Bluetooth speaker. They put like 2 JBL speakers, wire it all in, and it's powered by like a Makita battery. It is
Yeah.
so freaking cool.
A couple of years ago, well, it was last summer when we came back from the Wyoming Governor's match. We were coming through eastern Idaho and going down a 2-lane highway, and there was guy had stuff out for sale out in front of his house. There was an old Pepsi machine sitting out there. It said like $200. I went past and I told Shelly, I said, I want to turn around and go back and get that. I want to turn it into a safe. And she even said, do it if you want. I should have. I kept going, but I kicked myself in the butt. I should have went back, bought that old pet machine, throw it in the back of the truck and brought it home and just slowly built it. Worked on it in the shop. It turned it into a safe.
Oh yeah, that's something Walter would do. I could
What
totally
would
see
be
Walter
so
doing
cool
that.
out in your shop? You have a Pepsi machine and people think it's a pop machine.
Yeah.
And you even have a put where they can put money in it, but they just always get ripped off.
Yeah, I think the wiring's messed up. Checking out with the chat. I see Night Strikes out there. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. Christy says, I love it when Dick Keller prank calls Martin at work. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. Come Out and PLA says, best Ferris wheel in a store ever. So referring to Shields. Hell yeah. And then Shields, Bucky's, and Cowboy Stadium private tour, perfect date night. Yeah, that would do.
I kind of agree with it, especially that Cowboy Stadium part. That's pretty cool.
I just recently drove by because I'm still like, checking out all of Florida. Like there's so much stuff. Like I'm thinking about doing like a Florida travel channel just because it's like I'm having so much fun still exploring the state. So I just recently drove by the Buccaneer Stadium. God damn, that's big. Like it is like huge. But I would love to see the Dallas Cowboys Stadium though. Like,
Cowboy Stadium just dwarfs that.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. That's where they held, I want to say WrestleMania 35 or 34, one of them. And it was like 100,000 in attendance. Like,
I think the maximum capacity is like 104,000 in there. It's only like 80 something, I think, for NFL games is how they do it or something. But
God bless Texas, man.
it's crazy.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, like touring football stadiums. Like I've gotten the chance to tour Fenway Park in Boston for the Red Sox. That was such a cool experience, and checking out like walking onto the field, learning how like the red dust was made. It was just so freaking cool. If you guys ever get a chance to like tour like a sports stadium, do it. It's a really fun experience. I'm partial to Fenway Park because I think it's one of the best places in the world, but that's just me.
Well, I'm a Yankees fan, so
I don't even watch baseball, but I've always been. I'm just a diehard Red Sox fan, just because I'm from Mass. I'm a New Englander. Patriots are the best football team in the world.
we can't be friends anymore. I'm sorry.
Listen. I followed Tom Brady down here, and he just happened to retire like the year I moved down. Okay. My mother is still brokenhearted over Tom Brady leaving the New England Patriots.
No, I was a lifelong Cowboys fan since I was like 4 years old. I've been a Cowboys fan. Yeah. And when I went down to, I was to the old Texas Stadium, went to a game there years ago before they tore it down. And then the new one, took the tour. I'm saying that's my wife. I was like a kid in a candy store. First thing I did is ran out to the middle of the field like a 12-year-old and stood on the star, and she took my picture. Because not that exact field. It was the old one, but I remember as a kid watching my heroes like Roger Staubach and Charlie Waters, and these guys play football and be on that star. It was so cool.
So was that when Tom Landry was?
Yeah, Tom Landry was the coach. Staubach was the greatest defensive back to ever play the game of football, as far as I'm concerned. Number 41, Charlie Waters, played for him, and so I wore his number through softball, baseball, football, everything when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've only been to Texas once. I've been to Houston, and I really liked Houston. It was fun. Um,
Houston, I lived there for 9 years. It's okay.
yeah, that's what I hear. Like everyone's just like, rain check on Houston. I'm like, I like really liked Houston. Like I want to check out Dallas and I want to check out San Antonio, but
San Antonio's kind of cool. I worked in the oil and gas industry there, and I spent like 3 days. I lived in Houston. I spent like 3 days a week over in San Antonio at our office, and I like San Antonio. It's a neat place.
oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
It was not bad at all.
Yeah. So what so as we're kind of coming, we're winding down a little bit. What do you see? What are your plans for Aegis now? Like, okay, you got the grease. Are you working on? Can you talk about any new products that you're kind of working on? Like, what do you got coming? You said you got a lot
We're
of shows coming up.
we are not working on any new products right now. There's nothing on the horizon right now.
Yep, just sticking
We're
to your basics.
doing what we do. We're doing like I said, doing things like this,
Yeah.
little alterations of our stuff. I've got a friend that wants me to do, and I've got some samples that I've built. I should have shown you, but little jars, plastic jars with the pre-soaked cloths, lube, and solvent in them.
Yep.
Like, because I guess guys that shoot black powder and stuff use those a lot, and we're starting to. Friend of mine in Texas wants us to do that, so I ordered in some supplies and I'm playing with them right now. But
Yep.
I don't know that we're going to do it for sure.
Yeah, I wish you still did the aerosol because I remember when you sent me that giant aerosol
So
can.
those are still in the back burner too.
Yeah, that was loved it.
That's still being thought about and stuff. It's just like quit that because getting aerosols done there after COVID and stuff and during COVID was so expensive that we just shelved that whole project.
This is your best invention is this needle applicator. Like
Well,
this
not
is
buying. I didn't. Oh, we got a new one. See, I went to the blue one now. The new one's the blue.
I don't clean my guns that much, Rod, and I'm just
But no, this is one of the coolest things we did was put the needle applicator.
Every
pretty
time
awesome.
I have to clean every time I clean my guns again, which is far and few between. But I'll use this, and I'm like, this is perfect. I get right in the slide rails. Like I tell, like this is one of those like, okay, I think these are like what it's like $4.99 or something like that on the website. It's not
$2.99.
$2.99. All right, yeah, it's under $5, and you buy the lube, spend the extra $2. You will thank me for this. This is the best thing you could ever come up with.
They're kind of pricey for me to get. We don't really make hardly any money on those because they're kind of pricey to buy, but they're so cool and they're a must.
Oh yeah,
especially
I love it.
Our lube is a lot thinner than a lot of other lubes out there.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of the reasons it makes it cool as hell and makes it so good. But so it's really nice to have the applicator tip to put a dab on it.
Yep.
Especially if you try to actually follow Glock's lube rules. It's hard to do that with our regular cap because it comes out too much.
Have you ever read the comment section in any of my clean and lubricate videos? Okay.
In yours or anybody's?
Or in mine particularly, because I don't follow that at all.
Oh, neither do I.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
The amount of people that say I overlube my gun, I'm putting way too much lubricant on one section. It's like, listen, this is how I was taught to clean my guns. All right. If you think, just go wherever the gun has the moving parts, throw some lubricant on there. It's not going to hurt it if you over lubricate it. If like you pull a whole bottle in there, yeah, it might, seize it up. But especially with the Aegis lubricant, it is not going to hurt it if you put a little bit more than usual on there. As long as you follow up with the cleaner and you preface it with the cleaner, get everything all nice and clean, dried off, and apply it right. It's okay. But when you get a chance, check out the comment section on any of the clean lubricate videos. People go nuts. It's funny.
You got to hear people when we go to gun shows. So we don't do a lot of gun shows anymore.
Yep.
And it's just because we don't do real well at gun shows. We don't sell a lot of product there.
Yeah.
We do so much better at other places. And then just some of the people you run into. I was going to start, and I did it for a while. I put up this thing, shit you hear at a gun show.
Oh, yes.
And
I love
it. You know how many times I've had some old timer walk up to me and go, "That's a bunch of newfangled bullshit." Like, yeah, okay, keep walking. Thank you for your
Thanks,
comments.
Boomer.
Well, no, my granddaddy used to miss 5W30 Vaseline vanilla extract. They'll come with some stupid, it'll just be this off the wall potion. And that's why I've used it ever since. I'm like, okay, thank you. Go away. But it's some of the shit I've heard. I wish I could remember. It's just like, my God.
I don't
Really?
understand the WD-40 aspect. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I've cleaned it with WD-40." I'm like,
Okay.
okay, good for
Not-
you. I would never do that, but whatever, bro.
I wouldn't either. But then again, I mean, that's like anything else, any other niche in the industry. People get stuck and get loyal to their product, and I get it because we now have people over the years now are loyal to our product, and it's cool to have those people that are loyal to your product.
Oh yeah.
So I get it. I mean,
I'm one of those people. I will be loyal to your particular product till the day I die because again, I've used it so many times and I've seen people just being like, "Wow, this is really running great," and I have to explain, listen. It's because of the lubricant that we're using and the way it was cleaned. Like you remember that photo I sent you of that 509 where the guy just was.
yeah,
It probably had a good half a pound of gun grease on there because as he was shooting, he was pouring like his lubricant on there and it just caked it up. And the cleaner within two, passes of letting it sit, letting it eat up all that carbon and then lubricant, it was brand new, ran great. And I know he actually ended up buying some Aegis, and then I had another really close customer that only bought it because he knew that's what I used on his guns, and he's like, I love it. I absolutely love it. And he's like,
yeah.
it kind of like, he said it had a smell. It doesn't really have the smell doesn't bother me, but my nose is just completely fried.
We have a few people that complain about the smell, and it is what it is.
Yeah, you can't. It's part of the
I mean,
chemical process. Like,
but it's such a small percentage of people that say anything about the smell.
yeah,
But that's like gun shows. I tell you, I don't know. I just get so sick of people walk out and want to tell me why they use this brand or that brand or why it's better than ours. I'm like, fine. If that's what works, you stay with it. Don't buy
Yeah.
our product.
I don't want you here.
Cool. I'm glad you like your product. I'm glad you like brand X or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
for you. Knock yourself out.
Get away from my table. But and that's the thing. You're people can use what they want. I always tell always tell people check out Aegis because again, it's the two-part system of you clean it and then the cleaner is some of the best stuff. And again, you can also use this on chainsaw blades, bicycle chains,
Unlike what
squeaky
Night
door
Strike
hinges.
Night Strike saying even normal CLP smells. Please
Exactly.
don't equate us to CLP. Come on,
Yeah,
Night Strike.
that is
Come
not
on now, bud.
Christy Tortel is also asking.
I feel what Christy just said, and if you pull that off, go for it. I'll be there.
Oh yeah, might be able to snag you seats at the governor's box. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, we're just messing with you, Night Strike. Thank you.
Just having fun, Night Strike.
Yeah, we love you, buddy. Now she was asking if you had travel size packages to get through TSA. I think the little test sample trifecta bottles should fit through TSA. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gosh, what I'm trying to think. It's an ounce of our cleaner, half ounce of our lube, and a 0.5 ounce or point whatever of our grease.
That should get through TSA. I
As
thought
long
I
as they
actually
don't,
gave her some actually last time she was down. But
unless they get pissy about the chemical part. But
I mean, listen, I don't have really any metal in my body anymore because I don't have a drill bit in my hand. But
well,
I get stopped every time at the airport.
the way Boeing has planes flying apart, they can't be worried about this shit. This is the least of their worries.
You got to put that on a shirt. TSA safe. They got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. Hashtag Boeing.
That's awesome. Man, Rod, I appreciate you coming on tonight, man. I know we're just getting over the hour, and I don't. Granted, it's like 7:00 where you are.
Yeah, it's 7 here.
I don't get that. I don't. It's just the time change is crazy.
It's 9 o'clock here, and it's like pitch black out. I can still see the sun just peeking through, like no problem. Yeah, nice and sunny. Look at that, beautiful out, absolutely beautiful.
See, there's my old man porch.
Is that
I
where
told my wife I love having a porch where I can sit on a rocker and smoke a cigar and have a bourbon and yell at people to stay the hell off my lawn.
I was
That's-
literally just gonna ask that. Oh my God, do you yell at kids to stay off your lawn?
Yeah, it's a stay off my lawn porch. You have to have one.
I kind of have that out front. I don't have any lawn chairs, which I should invest and get some, because like it's, you know, the summer nights here, when it cools down, it's actually like bearable when it's not like 100 degrees. Granted, I don't really, I knew what I was getting into when I moved down here, but I've always, I should get some type of patio.
Well, I
'Cause-
like Florida. We used to go down every year because friends of ours have a condo in Bradenton that they fully retired there from Wyoming. Now they're there full time. We used to go down and play golf with them a few weeks every year.
yeah, Bradenton's like 25 minutes, 30 minutes from me. Yeah.
So is it? Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Next
We-
time you come down, give me a call.
it's been years since we went down and saw Rick and Kara, our friends, but we need to get back down there
Yeah.
and hang out. It's fun.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, Rod, thank you again for coming on tonight, man. And I, you know, and on a personal level, I know I tell you this all the time. I truly appreciate all your support that you've given the channel and the podcast over the years. I can't thank you enough. I still think Joe Juice is the best discount code out there.
Well, it's the one used. It's the one used the most.
Thanks for that. I
No,
appreciate
it really
that.
is. It's the one code that's used the most.
Yeah. Remember, guys, if you are searching
So-
anything on Aegis, you can use that code and save 10% off your entire order. It works on hats, it works on their merchandise, their products, their lubricant, their grease, and
No,
their
wait a
cleaning
minute.
fluid.
I think it's set not to work on clothing.
Doesn't?
I'm
I'm
thinking
gonna
it's.
try it tonight, because I'm picking up that.
I
new
think it's
American
gun cleaning products only.
Oh, looks like if that's the case, I will have to. I like Safety Harbor's comment. Get off my grass.
Yeah, exactly.
I will
But
have
yeah,
to change
everybody-
the advertisement.
Everybody should have one of these in their gun bag. Absolutely, you should have one of these.
Oh,
I'm
100%.
telling you, it's a necessity.
It's in my my range bag every time. Like it doesn't, like my medical kit and that, it goes right in my.
You know, and you know what I'm going to do for everybody right now? If you go right now and buy with it on the website, I will give you 10% off if you use Joe Juice coupon code. I'm going to do that for you.
Look at that
For you
just,
all.
just for you all. If you use code Joe Juice.
One
Yeah,
time only. This is what we're going to do.
I know. I am literally, like, after the show, I'm picking up that shirt because I was like, oh man, I like to have a collection of my Aegis shirts. So I've kind of had them all over the years. So now I gotta just add to the collection. And my hat, finally, it got too janky, man. The sweat just seeped through when I
Did
moved
you
down
know
here.
that you can use our cleaner and clean your sweat stains out of your hat?
I didn't know that.
I didn't either until one of our followers and users, one of the guys, he actually lives here in Idaho. He did it and did a video of it, and it actually worked. So I've done it a few times.
I'll
Our
have
cleaner
to
will
try
take the
that.
sweat stains out of your hat.
Because I have a ton of hats that like literally have like the white ring on the brim of it, and it's like,
Yes, spray our cleaner on it, let it set there for a while, and then wipe it off and put some more. And you might have to use water, and it takes the. If it's not real bad, it'll take the white ring right out of it.
I'm gonna literally try that and let you know.
I don't know how that's going to be sweating on your head with that cleaner in there later, but Shouldn't affect you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna I wouldn't recommend just doing that because that's how you get a rash and it'll be itchy.
well, I've done it before on my hats, and I've never had a problem. So
well, that's the thing. Do you sweat? Do you rust guns though? Like, do you have that that rust sweat?
do I sweat?
Like,
Would you-
does your sweat rust your guns like that?
Well,
like,
yes.
Okay.
Sweat's one of the worst things on your firearms there is.
All right, because I have that like acid sweat that just rusts.
No, everybody's does. The metals and shit that you're getting, the human perspiration is horrible on firearms.
That's why you use Aegis Gun Care. Rust inhibitors. Just throwing it out there, you know.
Yes, exactly.
But tell people where they can find you, and you said you got a couple events coming up where maybe if you're in the Idaho area, check out the guys.
Well, we'll be. If you happen to be in the Idaho area, June 8th, Boise Black Rifle Range Day is up here in the Boise area, which is the 3rd or 4th annual. It's starting to be a really big event. July, we'll be in Casper, Wyoming at the Wyoming Governor's Match, USPSA competition. We're stage sponsor there. Can't say a whole lot more, but we might be in Texas here in a couple weeks.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
We just might make an appearance somewhere in Texas. I'll have more information about that coming soon, probably in like 2 weeks. And then just little shows around here we do.
Yep.
Some stuff. There's, like I said, there's like 8 events we're doing this month.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting to the range this month, there, bud.
No, it's like we spent last week or 2 weeks or whatever in Wyoming at the Wyoming Association of Sheriffs and Chiefs conference, which was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm doing the Idaho Narcotics Officers Association conference here in the month, I think, here.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
No, I mean, everybody, like I said, aegisguncare.com. Go show us some love if you're feeling like you need to, which you should need to. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of good products. Well, no, I don't want to say there's a lot of good gun cleaning products out there.
There's only one, and it's Aegis.
Now, there's some other companies that have some pretty good products. There's a few out there that are, they're not as good as us. I still think ours is better, but there's a couple out there that are pretty good products. Damn, this thing's killing me.
I was gonna say, yeah, you got the Covidicus going on here.
Oh, I've had this chest cold and head cold for like a week now. Kicking my ass.
I feel for you, man. Every time I cough now, I'm just like, oh god.
Because I think, aren't we over that not everything is COVID anymore? So I don't have COVID because not everything is COVID anymore.
I think we're over that now.
So the flu and the common cold have come back. We can have those now.
I don't know. At this point, the Black Plague's probably coming back too. Like, who knows? Come like September.
It is an election year, so something's got to happen.
Come September, something might happen where some mysterious virus comes back.
Sleepy Joe's going to need some help, so he's going to have to do something.
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is I hope he. I'm not going to vote for him, but that's just.
Oh, by the way, I got to throw something out real quick, just because. In the last couple months, we've had 2 cops killed that were kind of close to home for me.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear.
They just Ada County, it's a county here in Boise, just had a deputy killed. I think one of their first ever, which is shocking for this size of a county. And 27-year-old guy got killed on a traffic stop. And then a couple months ago, I mean, the department I started out, Sheridan Wyoming Police Department, had their first officer ever killed in the line of duty. And my buddy's the chief there. So my point is, people, I don't care what you think. Don't start shit. Show our law enforcement some respect.
Exactly.
Those guys and gals need it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I couldn't, even more now since it's been happening. This has been a big thing for me. I've been called a bootlicker and everything else on Instagram because I support law enforcement. That's fine. Just don't do business with me then, please. But because we're unapologetically pro good cops. End of story.
And that's why and that's another reason why I love what you guys stand for. You are unapologetic on anything. Like this is my line in the sand, and more people need to be like that now.
This is who we are. And that's just, if you don't like it, tough shit. There's a reason we have the thin blue line flag on our bottles. You didn't never notice, did you? Look at you.
I literally never noticed that. Then I'm like, oh yeah, I never noticed that.
The thin blue line flag. It's there for a reason because I'm a bootlicker. But anyway, it's been close to home lately. So,
again, I'm sorry to hear that. 'Cause that is very difficult to hear, especially considering your background too.
And the sad thing about it is law enforcement attacks on law enforcement. I heard today they're up 60% in the last year or two. That's stupid.
It's sickening. It is. It is definitely sickening.
You know, oh well, but I'm also very quick to tell if you ever attack a cop in front of me, I will bring everything I have. Kiss my ass.
You like go Liam Neeson from Taken.
This old fat guy will figure out how to be young again. But
You're just like, oh dear Lord.
but anyway, I just don't need to. I just was gonna throw it out there. You know, support the cops out there. The good ones. They're bad cops. We get it. They're out there. But
support your local law enforcement and stuff like that. I definitely agree with that. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and please do me a favor and check out Aegis Gun Care at aegisguncare.com. Use code JOJUICE to save 10% off your entire order. It's the best stuff you could use. Thank you, everybody, for listening tonight. I see Christy, Night Strike, Come Out in PLA, DLD After Dark, Safety Harbor Firearms, McCoon the Gloon, and Damian Christ. Everybody out there, if I miss you, I'm sorry. But thank you so much. This podcast will be posted to the YouTube channel probably this weekend. Worst case scenario next Tuesday. It all depends on how my video schedule is, because I do put this to the members. So you guys will get this probably Thursday, tomorrow or Friday. And then I put it in the members chat for people to listen early while it's waiting for monetization. So please make sure you become a channel member. Link is in the description. And
Night Strike. Thank you, buddy. It just came through. Thanks a lot, man.
I love you, Night Strike. Thank you, buddy. I get the notification too. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. Look at that.
Yeah, they used your code, didn't he?
Yeah. Here's my code.
I didn't even notice what code he used. It just popped up. So yeah.
Yep. Look at that.
So it does work on clothing. Cool.
I don't have to make a new ad. Don't gotta make. Oh dear Lord! All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, check out Aegis Gun here. Rod, thank you for coming on. So you're always welcome on this show whenever you want. Just shoot me a text. We'll get you scheduled, or we'll just bring you right on the show. We don't care. Guys, also check out Two Guys One Gun on Sundays at 9 p.m. We will be. I don't know what gun we're covering this week, but it's a new podcast me and DLD have started. Two Guys One Gun. It's a really fun show. We had a great show this week on the Glock 19X. It's live on both of our channels, so check that out. And with that, stay safe, stay shooting. We will see y'all soon. Peace.
Later.